The chairman took his secretary on a business trip. They had just arrived at the hotel to meet a client when they unexpectedly ran into the secretary's husband. All three froze on the spot, and the secretary thought her husband had followed her there. But in fact, he was just at the hotel to have dinner with friends and had picked up a durian cake on the way to bring home to her. Since they ran into each other, he handed it over, but she looked at it with disgust. Right at that moment, a rich heir showed up, saying he wanted to treat her to a fancy dinner. She looked down on her husband's cheap cake and flipped it to the ground on the spot. Her husband, burning inside, asked if she had fallen for the rich heir. Otherwise, why was she treating him like this all of a sudden? But she turned it around, saying he was making trouble for nothing, insisting she was only talking business with the heir, then grabbed the guy and walked off. The husband was furious but didn't dare make a scene. The cake on the ground was smashed, but he couldn't bear to waste it and planned to take it home and eat it himself. Later, he went to see a wealthy woman worth hundreds of billions. She had loved him for 10 years and even confessed before, but because he had a wife, he never wavered. When she saw him carrying the cake, she thought he bought it just for her, and she was touched to the core, confessing again. But he firmly said he only loved his wife, that he'd never betray her, and asked the woman not to bring it up again. She had no choice but to agree, still admiring how loyal he was to his wife. After dinner, he went home and found his wife all dressed up. He wanted to talk, but she coldly brushed him off, saying they'd discuss things after she got back from her trip, then turned and left in style. His heart ached, but his love didn't change. To keep her, he secretly messaged his men to invest $1 billion in her company. The truth was, he was worth 10 trillion but always acted like an average man so she wouldn't feel insecure. That night, while working a side gig as a driver, he unexpectedly saw his wife walking into a hotel. Curious, he followed, only to see the rich heir confessing his love and pulling out a ring to propose. Her best friend was hyping it up, saying her husband was nothing compared to the heir and urging her to say yes. Under all the pressure, his wife actually held out her hand. Just as the ring was about to slip on, he burst through the door. Startled, she dropped the flowers in her hand, while he angrily scolded the heir for crossing the line. But even then, his wife tried to explain it wasn't what he thought. He wasn't stupid. He turned and walked away. Panicked, she ran after him, hugging him tightly, begging for forgiveness. No matter what she said, he didn't believe her. Then out of nowhere, she slapped him, demanding what he really wanted. He shot back, "What do I want? My wife is about to wear her ex's ring, and I don't even have the right to be mad?" She argued, "I only did this to get his investment so our life could be better." Hearing that, he finally lost his patience. "Whatever that heir can give you, I can too. But what I can give, he never will." She sneered, saying he was useless and not worth having around. Completely heartbroken, he decided to let go, telling her to reconcile with her ex and warning her not to regret it. Just then, the heir walked over holding an umbrella. But to everyone's surprise, his wife told the heir that everything she had done was just to secure investment, and now she was done with it, she wanted a divorce.